All right, welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
Dairy.
And Myra. All right, so how's it going?
She's been out of the loop a little while, so
yeah,
little trigger shy there.
I couldn't remember my name.
Right, and you can't stop yawning to save your life.
Sorry,
but just a few things.
Zombie.
Zombie.
Up?
Oh yeah, he is. Hey, what's up? And we have Pops in here too. What's up?
Hi.
What's that? Oh boy. So all right, so let me start with this. Let me do this thing. Hang on. I got a little thing here.
Do you?
Yeah, somewhere. Here we go. Madness.
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 Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds podcast has now joined the Madness Comic Network.
All right, so yes. Again, we are on the Madness Comic Network. So just a few heads up. Zombie is not here tonight. He's at work.
It's just me, Pam.
Just me. Well, me.
Well, yeah, but
hello.
I mean, I'm her favorite anyway, so.
Whoa, I don't know.
I honestly think you are, because goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I mean, she's like, well, if Derry says so, then I guess I'll go watch. It's just like I've been saying same thing. But anyway,
yeah,
it's all good. I don't get my ruffles feathered or whatnot.
Don't get your feathers ruffled.
Yeah, feathers ruffled. He's on a side quest. That's right, side quest. Yeah. But yeah, so Madness Comic Network. If there's anything that you like about our show, I guarantee you it's in abundance on the Madness Network. So we got shows pretty much every day of the week for everything under the sun, really. If there's something that piques your interest, seriously, check them out. But yeah. Glad to see all of you. Yes. All of you. Yes. Thank you.
So then she puts, you are both bossy, and I think she's talking about this way. The two of you guys.
Yeah.
I'm never bossy.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there she yes. Oh, so there it is. I didn't scroll down far enough. But so did we get anything in the box?
I did, but I'll bring it on Monday.
Okay, fair enough.
No, we didn't see
Myra,
that comment.
I hear you got something in the box. Is that correct?
For once.
Is that correct? Yeah. What on earth? Can't wait to see this.
I can get it open.
Yeah, Zombie does a good job taping up stuff.
Oh yeah,
dude.
I've got a few of those.
Yep.
People always love when I send stuff because I use we keep all of our shopping bags from when we go to Walmart and stuff. I use that as packing material.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of them.
What are you using your bathroom trash can?
Some of them too. I mean, shit, we got 4 trillion of them. And then I save them for Halloween when little kids are coming to get
Come on,
candy,
Bob.
and I snap them over their head and tie them shut.
Ah, that's awesome. Oh boy. If I could ever get this fully opened, it'd be great. Good job.
Pressure's on.
No kidding. Time limit. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
What is it?
It's a diamond painting.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome. It's a witchy one.
Witchy woman.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Finally, something in a box.
Yeah. He felt guilty that, it's like, she doesn't really get anything in the box, so he's like, I'm gonna hook her up. I'm like,
Oh, well,
I
thank
appreciate
you
it,
so
dude.
much. You didn't have to.
It's too kind. But
I love it.
He said he sent one of his stickers in the box too for
Yeah.
you. One of the
why
zombie
am I
stickers.
not seeing the chat as fast as you are?
I love
Yeah. Oh, nice. He sent you one of the new
it.
ones.
Thank you. Now I gotta find something to put it on.
He says, glad you
Thank
like
you.
it.
I love it.
I guess I'll save mine for Monday too.
Yeah, mine's already packed up in the van, ready to go to Indiana. So,
What was he about to do? Taking a drink. Yeah, I want that sticker. It's cool. Indeed.
of zombie.
It's my lucky number. 13.
Yeah, he called me in the store to make sure we picked something you would like.
Well, thank you so much. I love it.
His next side quest.
Oh yeah, what's in Indiana? My family. So going to see family. So I'll look different Monday and next
Oh.
Friday. I won't have my nerd stuff around me. I'll
Mm.
probably be ready to murder someone. So because I'm going to my
That'll be
in-laws.
fun.
Yeah. Although my mother-in-law loves me just like Pam loves me, so what can I do?
Pam loves me too.
What can I do?
Right? It's just a curse.
It is a curse.
What'd she say?
Hey, Jess, he's going to send you a care package sometime soon. So heads up.
Perfect.
Oh, boy. I lost all of my train of thought. What little I had. Let me grab my handy dandy binder. Right. Okay. All right. So we've done what's in the box. And okay, TV shows. I want to talk about this real quick. Have you ever read the Jim Butcher novels, Harry Dresden Files?
So I've only read one of them. God, it's been years though.
Yeah.
Since I read it. I don't know why I didn't get into them more, but I've only read the one.
Was it the first one?
I think so, because
Okay.
I think I was going to start the series, but I think like another book series I was into released a book right after I read that one, so I was like, oh, well, I'll shift gears for a while, and never went back to it.
Yeah. Well, it's also because I asked that question because the first book was a little rough because first of all, not only are you getting into his writing style and finding that balance of info dumping versus, actually telling a story. So he was finding that balance. And I think he really hit his stride in like the second and third book for sure. But I've reread them since, and it's like, I don't remember what I didn't like about this the first time. So
Yeah.
it was just, I think it was honestly just that first initial, like, just getting over the hump, because I mean, I'm a Star Wars freak, so I had pretty much only read Star Wars stuff and Game of Thrones. So I was probably still in one of those moods. It's one of those things where it's like you're in a specific mindset. And you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to read this book. But you're really amped about still wanting to go read the next Game of Thrones or the next Star Wars book, and you can't get your mind separated to appreciate this new world that you're diving into. So I think it might have been something like that. But I started watching the Dresden Files, and it's an old show. I think it was on Sci-Fi or something back in the day.
I remember it being on.
Yeah.
Never watched any of it.
Yeah, I didn't either. And at the time, I remember thinking it was because I had seen Paul Blackthorne in multiple other things since, and I just kept looking at him saying, I can't picture you as Harry Dresden. It's like I just couldn't get my head around that fact, that lone thing. And so it's like I think I was turned off by that. But I sat down and watched it all, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was really pretty good. It reminds me of Burn Notice, because they fade to that black and white shot before it goes to commercial and stuff, before they would go on a commercial break. So it's very reminiscent of that style of storytelling and whatnot. But overall, it was pretty good. And it's like I can't believe I didn't watch this sooner. And I honestly, it deserves another season, because I mean, he's still writing Butcher's still writing Dresden novels, and it's wow, they're so good right now. It's hard to believe some of the things he's come up against. It's awesome. I love those books. But
so Zombie posted something in the chat, and I feel like he's trying to drag us into rant waters. So
we finished.
I will say,
wasn't
the entire season wasn't as bad as some were saying.
Yeah.
The only part I'm going to dump on is, like, most seasons build up to this like point where you actually wrap up some storylines.
Yeah.
And this one left me wanting, I think, way more than what it should have. I get it. Leave a cliffhanger. But I think they could have went further than they did. So, like, when the credits came on for the show, I was like, in that last episode, really, that's it? Like, it didn't get over the hump of excitement that I think a season finale should. Other than that, I like the season a lot.
Yeah, we haven't watched it yet, but I plan on it. And I've seen a few other comments about talking about the finale, and they're like, oh man, I can't wait to see what finally happens next week. And then they saw that it was the season finale, and they're like, what the heck?
That's pretty much where I was like,
it's like
there needed to be one, even if it wasn't a full episode, even if it was like another 30 minutes, I think they could have progressed the story far enough to tie up some things. But I mean, I feel like this season, my biggest critique would be Daemon Targaryen was wasted for most of the season. He's literally just sitting in Harrenhal with his thumb up his ass.
Yeah.
Most episodes. And I get it, like, it's part of the story, but they could have not focused on that as much as they did throughout the season. I think they could have sped that narrative up a little bit more.
For sure.
But I'm excited to see next season now. Like it's left me wanting more, but I think it just did it a little too. I'm wanting so badly that it kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
Maybe we'll just wait to watch that season until the
Which
next one comes out.
Yeah, which everything George R.R. Martin always pisses me off because I've been waiting on this fucking book for
No
800
kidding.
years. What, 11, 12 years now?
I think it's legitimately been like closer to 12, something
So,
like that. I don't remember
I-
the final book.
There's
Release
3
date.
authors that released their last books, I believe, all 3 of them in the same year, and we've been waiting for the next book. So you have George
Yeah.
R.R. Martin in Winds of Winter. You
Yeah.
have Patrick Rothfuss, The Kingkiller Chronicles, The Doors of Stone. And then you have Scott Lynch, which is the Lies of Locke Lamora series. There's supposed to be a 4th book, even though its books are all standalone and tie everything up for the most part. There's still supposed to be this mystery 4th book out there, which that series is amazing.
Yeah.
The Lies of Locke Lamora. That's the name of the first book. It is one of probably my favorite fantasy series because it's so different than other ones.
Yeah.
It's basically about thieves. This guy who leads a troop of thieves, and that the first book is like a heist. Like it's literally like
Okay.
Ocean's 11 type heist that he has to pull off with his group of merry thieves that work with it. Like it's different than a lot of fantasy.
Yeah.
So but yeah, those 3 authors have continually pissed me off every year. So
Yeah, I mean, because it keeps bopping back and forth between, okay, it's just gonna be one book and we're just gonna have one big huge book, and it's like, just keep with the original storyline and just release them, because
yeah.
HBO got to tell their story, but we still haven't heard your story.
Yeah. Which
And
once they ran
infuriates
out
me.
of source material, it was dog shit. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't happy with the show after either the 2nd or 3rd season. Like it really went off script and started deleting like some of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
But once we hit the end where
Season
they no
8 or
longer
whatever.
Yeah, dog shit. Like it
Yeah.
nosedived so fast. Like, I mean, the showrunners for Game of Thrones, like they had no clue what they were doing once they ran out of source material.
Well,
Right.
and I think their biggest thing was the fact that they were able to answer the question of who's Jon Snow's parents.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the highlight and the end of everything they had good for him, because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's about
Yeah.
all you did. It's like, I don't know. I still would have preferred to. I still want those books.
Yeah.
Still want Winds of Winter and a Song of
yeah.
Spring or whatever. I mean, goodness gracious, those books would be so insane.
Yeah.
But I digress.
If you've never read Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss, there's 2 books and 2 novellas. They're amazing. Like they're 100% amazing. But TV wise, for me, my wife and I just binged. There's a new show out on Netflix called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's British, and my wife thought it'd be like super teeny because it's about like a high school girl preparing for college, and she takes on this murder mystery from their town as her project, like to go to college.
Okay.
And literally, we got sucked in the first episode and pretty much binge watched the whole season of it.
Sweet. Write that
Yeah.
down.
It's good. It's good.
All right.
I don't know what else the hell we've been watching. I've been really big into BritBox because I love British TV. So
Yeah.
and season 4 of Slow Horses comes out at the beginning of September. So I'm like stoked over that.
Yeah, I'm wanting to go back and watch that because I haven't watched a single episode.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Which, speaking of, I did go and watch Clarkson's Farm.
Mm-hmm.
and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's just
freaking
like,
awesome.
this is great. It is. I remember like going to bed and being like, oh man, I wonder what they're gonna do in the next episode. Because I
Mhm.
couldn't wait to get up and go watch the next episode.
You
So
can watch it on your iPad.
who
Yeah, but I mean, this is when after we went to bed and whatnot. I didn't want to do that.
so how far into it did you make it? Did you make
Oh, I
it through all
finished it.
3 seasons?
Oh yeah,
Dude, the goat episode is so funny when he gets the goats and they're like beating his ass. Like that was one of the best
Oh.
episodes of the entire series.
Especially like when the one got a little rambunctious and headbutted him in the nuts.
Oh
He's just,
yeah. Yeah. They kept
I'm not sure
biting
which
him
one
and
that was.
ramming him and
Yeah.
everything. Like,
Yeah,
and I love goats anyway because they're little assholes. And so, like, people who don't know goats, like, they don't know how to be around them. And so they smell blood in the water and they'll just F you up all day long.
No way. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, goats are like the devil. Like, I think that's why the goat head is the sign of the devil because they're
Wow.
such assholes.
Got it.
So you have another thing in common with my mother. She says,
Hey.
I love British TV shows.
Here we go.
So have you seen It's a Short Life?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so that's a really funny show. It's produced by the dude who made The Office, Ricky
Oh.
Gervais, and
Yep.
it
The
stars
real
Warwick Davis.
Office. The
Yeah, yeah.
real Office,
Yeah,
not
Do
you
the
like the
crappy
British
American
version?
one. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And the British version of Shameless too.
Okay. All right. I wanted to
Mhm.
try to watch those too since I like The
Mhm.
Office recently. I
Yeah.
wasn't into it until recently.
See,
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
recently watched The Office, and
I'm a bigger fan of dry humor, like the whole British, like stupid humor, dry humor. Like American humor, a lot of times just falls flat for me, unless it's really offensive, and then I gobble it up like I can, because offensive humor is the best.
All right.
Black
give it a try.
Phillip the Goat. Yep. But yeah, so we'll have to watch those. But so there's that one, and there was Plebs.
Love
Have you seen that?
Plebs.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's a really good one.
Hilarious.
And there was another one. Danbury. Dan Danbury. It's a show about it's a wonderful life type, the life of Danbury or something like that. It's something like that, but it's about this dude Dan Danbury, who just, I don't know, ends up doing all kinds of weird shit.
No,
But
I've never heard of it.
it's hilarious, and watched all the seasons back to back after my friend turned me on to it, and I was just like, hey, you got any more of those awesome shows? Because I really want some more. And that's when he told me about, It's a Short Life, and we ended up watching another show, Misfits, which was the English version of Misfits, which has
Jeez.
it has some moderately famous one who ended
Mhm.
up being in a couple other shows that we've since seen, and it was just like, oh, hey, look, there he is. So
Oh, and the girl too, right? Misfits.
yeah,
She was in The Doctor. Good Doctor.
yeah. I want to say yes. I don't
Okay.
recall, but that's a you show, not a me show. What was I saying? Okay, so okay. In other news, let's not do that. Let's do this. So what do you think about Eli Roth's Borderlands?
I
Did you
mean,
hear
I
how
haven't.
bad it did?
Well, it did. It just tanked over the weekend, and I mean, the Rotten Tomato scores were terrible. I'm not going
In
to
its
pass
opening
judge.
weekend, it only made $10 million.
Yeah. So I got a couple theories on that. So Borderlands is very much a property that appeals to a very small part of the population, in my opinion. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't know what Borderlands is about,
Yeah.
and seeing the previews, I think it would be hard for them to get into it. I mean,
Okay.
I played 1, 2, and 3. Like, I love the games, but if you don't know anything about the story, it's going to be hard for people to get into it. When they even said they were doing a Borderlands movie, I was kind of like, this will be another
Wow.
video game adaptation that no matter how good the movie is, it probably won't do well because it's not a marquee franchise in gaming. Like Super Mario is going to do good because everybody knows who Super Mario is. I
Yeah.
mean, kids play Super Mario. Like Borderlands is very adult. It's an R-rated movie. I believe it's R-rated, but the content in the games is R-rated. So a lot of people.
No, just the one.
Was there more than one what?
Oh, yes.
Games, yes.
Games,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's multiple games. But
And what's cool is like the characters you play as in the first game then carry over to the second game as characters you meet.
okay.
So like you meet the characters that you played as in the next game as NPCs, but I don't think that's a property that people are just going to be able to get behind. Like I think it was destined to fail from minute one because it doesn't have the recognizability or whatever the word would be that
Yeah.
other video game franchises have.
Yeah. Well, I do know that I think it was Jessica or someone she knows ended up seeing it, like her brother or something. I don't know. And said, yeah, it was terrible.
Bad.
It deserves those ratings. And it's
Sweet.
just like, ouch.
Well, I mean, I'm not planning on seeing it in theater.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Inside Out 2 today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's my eldest's birthday, so yeah.
I finally
good.
made it to Deadpool and Wolverine
Yeah.
earlier this week,
Hey.
so
That would also be why I think it tanked.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Because I mean,
hands down.
I don't know how anything can go up against that.
Yeah. Well, I
I'll go
can
see it again.
comfortably tell you it's my favorite of the three.
Oh, definitely, hands
Yeah.
down.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. By far the
jeez.
best of the three.
Yeah,
Loved
until
every
he's 90.
minute.
Till he's 90. Hashtag till he's 90.
Oh.
Oh goodness. It takes me back. I'm still like, I still like to go
Absorbing?
on
Okay.
like websites and scroll through feeds and stuff, because now that I've seen it, I don't care that I'm seeing spoilers everywhere. But seeing him put the mask on, pull down the mask, and it's just like, oh yeah.
Oh, that's the best scene in the movie.
It's just like, yeah, that's so good. It's
Mhm.
and like I save all these snippets of like of him on the cross thing, that he's the X-Men cross, and it's just like, oh dude, that's
Mhm.
so sick. And Cavalrine, oh, it's the first movie that Cavill has been in that crossed $1 billion.
Nice.
Wow. No way.
So it's good for him, but it's also like DC should have done better. Like,
I don't know, because he didn't make Deadpool and Wolverine cross $1 billion.
yeah, no,
And
for sure.
I actually think the guy who's going to play Superman, David Corenswet, is actually fits the look of Superman better than Cavill.
Oh.
Cavill was way too big. Like Superman
He's
doesn't
not
get
too
his
big.
power from muscles. I mean, I get he's muscular in
Yeah,
a lot of iterations of him, but he gets his power from the sun. Like
yeah,
he's not doing anything on Earth to work out and get big and bulky, and just I think based off
Genetic.
Christopher Reeve, and
Yeah.
as much people loved him as Superman, I don't think Superman has to be super huge, but this guy is in great shape
Yeah.
too, and he's a big guy. People don't realize how big this guy is.
Derry's dairying again.
Whatever, whatever, zombie.
I see. I don't know. I think he deserves to be muscular and because that's how he always was in the comics.
Some, but
Are you telling me this 90s look? Where is it? Oh, I moved it. I put it on a different shelf. So his 90s look with his mullet and his chest hair hanging out, and it's just like, you're telling me that isn't muscular? That is the epitome of us.
well, I think he's been portrayed that way at certain points.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Henry Cavill, he was good as Superman. Don't get me wrong, but I can see David Corenswet playing him just as good as Henry Cavill did.
Yeah, I do
Hands
have
down.
more faith in recent examples of his in his costume, and it's like, okay, I can sort of get behind this a little bit. I'm not fully on board yet because I still love Henry Cavill, but I will definitely be there to see it at least. But I digress.
We should probably
Derry.
hit these movies.
Yeah, let's tackle them. We're a half hour
Derry
in.
might dairy again.
Well, yeah, and Derry does have to leave. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'll have to jump off just a minute or two before 10.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got to talk about the movies. Which one do you want to start with?
Well, and I will say ahead of this, I actually won't be ranting about either of these movies. I feel like I ranted about Game of Thrones enough
Yeah,
already that I won't be ranting about these two movies. So, but it doesn't matter to me. I mean, we can start with Volcano or Waterworld. It doesn't matter.
Hey, I'm still trying to figure out what this is. The new suite has piping lines or something. It looks weird.
Scenes?
Suit.
Suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've come to terms with it.
I thought he typed something from
Yeah.
work
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
on accident.
I
into
wasn't
the
sure.
chat. Yeah.
But
Totally.
yeah, yeah,
Like
I don't know,
plumbing or
I'm
something.
good with it. I'm good with it. Yeah, that darn autocorrect every time. All right, so Zombie actually has something to say about Volcano. He has a bone to pick with it.
Oh, here we
And
go.
it's too bad that it can't be here tonight too.
Zombieing, apparently.
So it's too bad that he can't be in here tonight to zombiever it to death. But yeah, he apparently didn't like it because he said it was a stinker, and he said, "Yeah, that's not how that works."
Oh,
He said that
great.
multiple times throughout the thing. He's like, "Yeah, that's not how that works," and he just couldn't get behind
So he could tell me his top 10 favorite movies, and I'm going to find examples in all 10 of those movies where that's not how shit works. Like this isn't that little book from when we were kids, The Way Things Work. This is Hollywood. So Zombie out. Get out.
Poor
I don't know,
Zombie.
but yeah. So, well, I mean, this is coming from a dude who is like, "Oh, I don't like this scene because Statue of Liberty is made of copper or something like that." I don't even know.
Nickel.
Okay, so he says, "I've never watched a movie and thought that's not how that works or that's not going to happen."
Always.
Well, then you're going to need to clarify this next week. Or
Science, he says.
She blinded me with science.
Science.
Okay, who wants?
Anyway,
Well, then we're going to do Volcano first, since
All right.
yeah.
it got
So
brought up first. So
Volcano. I enjoyed it, and I'll let Pumaira talk so I can pull up the thing.
I enjoyed it. I give it about 4.5 stars.
I haven't even pulled up the thing yet.
Hey,
You need to wait.
she's prepared.
Slide. Nope.
Keep
Shares
going,
screen.
Pumaira. Don't let him boss you. He's bossy.
yeah. They said at the beginning of the movie that it was steam burns. Well, how did that come to be whenever you smelled all that sulfur? I don't know. You'd think it'd
Oh
be
yeah,
more than just a steam burn. Steam doesn't have a smell. Sulfur does. That's
yeah.
just
That would have
crazy.
that whole area would have smelled like one big rotten ass egg.
Right.
Mhm.
Plus the green stuff all over their skin or yellow, whatever that
Mhm.
was. So they're covering stuff up because they didn't know. But other than that, it was a good movie.
Good thing you kept talking because Dustin still doesn't have the rating system.
I
up.
really don't. I don't know.
So
One thing kept happening after another. Doesn't cement melt at some point though? Like
well, I mean, it would probably melt before rock, I would think, because
Yeah.
right.
you have rock mixed with a substrate that isn't as strong as 100% rock itself.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as strong as igneous rock, which I think is the most dense form of rock. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I would have thought, and I agree with Zombie. There's things in
Yes.
this movie that's not how it would work.
Right. Yeah, I do agree with this. It's just like, is this a timeline where Mount St. Helens did not erupt or something? Like, I mean, I don't know. Come on, like, for real.
Right, Zombie, right.
So I totally
So-
agree with that.
I think he might be power gaming here a little bit too, because in some of those instances, if I remember correctly, where they said that,
Mhm.
it wasn't like they were just standing on the side of the street looking at it. Like one time that was said, I can remember, was down in the subway tunnels, and all they saw was this bright shit coming at
Yes.
them. And so they did say, you know, what's that or something along, like in those scenes. I don't know if it was 100% clear to give them a little bit of credit. I'll have to go back, and now Zombie's gave me a bone to go back and actually pick out those parts. So, whoa, he's on it with that. So if you want Fahrenheit, just add 32 to that. That'll give you Fahrenheit degrees, which
Hang
isn't
on,
a big
do this.
difference.
Here we go.
Science.
So would that really hold back the lava though?
Oh no, like
Exactly.
yeah,
So
that
that
and
was my thing. Like, Dustin, doesn't this melt? Like,
yeah,
come on.
I mean,
I'm like, at some point, but it's more like a barrier to sort of
Yeah,
shuffle
so-
it off a little bit.
yeah, so it would take a while because there's no real pressure behind that. The way the lava is going to move is against the pressure gradient. So there's
Mhm.
going to be a
Okay.
lot. It'd take a while for it to burn through all that concrete and that steel.
Right.
So
All
It's
right.
Which
still
they've
gonna
already
flow.
shown, like they showed with the when they threw that basketball down and they showed how it was going downhill.
yeah, the
Like
grade.
Yeah.
it was eventually going downhill to where that happened. So that's why they set up the block there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so it was
So-
reaching that far. It just wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
yeah, I
And,
mean, it would take a long time because they if it was constant pressure, then yeah, I mean,
Yeah. And this is
Okay.
Hollywood science.
yeah, for sure.
So some of the basic concepts are there. But I mean,
Right.
is it fantastical? Yes. But I mean, it's a movie about the La Brea tar pits just erupting into a volcano. Like, it's a little fantastical just in the idea of it's like, what if this happened?
Yeah, it
Um,
would be pretty outrageous.
Yeah, but if you think about it, it's something that technically could happen fairly easily with the San Andreas Fault right there and your tectonic plates. Like,
Mm-hmm.
could something
Yeah.
happen where, I mean, because the magma under the crust of the Earth is under so much pressure, the littlest gap, it would just start to like shoot up like water through a small pipe.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's at the time it was a really good idea for a disaster movie because
Totally.
Yeah.
there wasn't a ton like it. Because even if you think about Dante's Peak, which I don't know which one came out first, Dante's
don't
Peak
remember.
was like, okay, this mountain just erupts like
Yeah.
a typical volcano would erupt. This was more, oh my God, in the middle of Los Angeles, all of a sudden we have this volcanic event.
Yeah.
And they don't have a fucking clue what to do. Like, these people were like trained to deal with shit that happens in Los Angeles every day, not a volcano.
Right.
But I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Like, I do think I had seen it before. I didn't remember it that well. But goddamn, Tommy Lee Jones, man, he can take a bad movie or bad, not so great idea and make it good, because he never plays in most of his movies a different type of character.
Definitely not.
Like, he was literally Sam Gerard in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's always got his wit. I mean, he's always a take charge personality. Like,
and that's the thing. I just love him about it.
yeah,
It's just
and-
like, dude, because he I mean, he's the same way in The Hunted,
yeah,
the movie we just watched not too long ago. He's just like, nope, that's not how it works. It's gonna do this. He's got this, kind of like this tread on the bottom of my foot. I don't have any. And he's just like, yep.
he's like that dude that in
Yes.
any situation you trust that he knows what to do. Like, he just commands the situation. And I mean, I grew up watching him in The Coal Miner's Daughter. Like, my parents love that movie about Loretta Lynn, and he plays her husband in that movie. And it's the same thing. Like, he takes charge all the time and all that. But I was mentioning to my wife what movie it was and who was in it. Well, then Facebook brought up an article on
Oh.
Tommy Lee Jones. So I was like, well, I'm going to watch a movie with him in it. I might as well read the article. Like, had no idea. Like, he went to Harvard. He played football for Harvard.
Oh, wow.
Then he moved to New York City, like in the early 70s, to start an acting career, did a lot of theater acting. Like, I just had no idea, like, the grind he had put in to become a really popular actor over the years. And during the 90s, he was huge.
Yeah. I think Fugitive really helped him with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he won an Oscar for Fugitive.
Yeah.
So he was Best Supporting Actor that year for The Fugitive. Like, I mean...
Wait, supporting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Harrison Ford.
Harrison
Okay,
Ford.
Yeah, that makes sense. It tracks. Oh, okay. So, Pumaira, what would you give it?
She already said, bro.
Yeah,
Okay, so
bro.
we didn't have the chart pulled up for reference.
4.5 stars.
4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, well-crafted work, enriching, transformative. Okay.
Yep.
See, I would be probably 3.5. I think it was a pretty good movie, especially for 1997.
Hey,
Like,
you kept me awake.
at the time, it was a decent movie. The special effects were pretty good. I mean, there were some areas where it looked wonky, but I mean, it was okay. I think the concept of the volcano in the middle of LA was like watching these people try to deal with it in real time was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think they did a good job on execution of the movie. Like, but I mean, it was never a blockbuster.
No, I don't recall it being a blockbuster for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I think it was a summer movie. It was like, hey, it's like
Why not
just
watch this?
like it was probably a fill-in week between
Yeah.
like major other. Let's see here. When did Dante's Peak come out? Same year. So this is another one of those 2 volcano movies came out the same year.
Yeah.
So,
Which
oh, and
again,
go
so
ahead.
do you remember Dante's Peak?
Somewhat. I mean, I watched it 1 or 2 times.
Wait, oh, she dropped out again. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, so Dante's Peak, which would you say is better? Dante's Peak or Volcano?
I would probably have to watch Dante's Peak again.
I
Just
did
to,
see that it's on Prime. So
maybe we got to do a comparison.
yeah.
Hmm, maybe.
A comparison Ford. Yeah, I would have to see it again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Let's not
scene
forget
was a
Sam
little
the Man.
that scene was a little fantastical where he throws that dude, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
If I wrote off every movie that had some kind of dumb scene where somebody does something weird like that, then I wouldn't have a lot of movies that I like. So
They would have been dead before he jumped off the thing. So.
true. Oh, they would have been
Dude.
burning alive.
Yeah.
I
So.
think it would have been more realistic if he caught on fire as he was jumping
Right.
over it and then landed and then threw
Kept.
and then
Yeah.
continued to melt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
believe
what
that.
I thought was gonna happen, but it didn't.
I didn't fully expect him to land in the fire, like the lava, and it was just like, oh, now he's gonna melt. No.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, so I can't know what happens, obviously.
Mhm.
Can't.
So where do you land with this, Dustin?
For me, I would definitely say 3.5.
I mean, it was enjoyable. Like,
yeah,
Right.
I
I would-
enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it when I watched it way back in the day, and I enjoyed it just as much now. So yeah, I thought it was great, but I think I honestly, I know we're talking about it, but I honestly would have to give the edge to, I think, Dante's Peak. And that only because of the grandma scene at the very end.
yeah, I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll watch it sometime, but
All right.
they full on. Wicked Witch wasted his ass.
True.
Yep.
And to clarify, you like both Dante's Peak and Volcano. Because I doubt she's watched Waterworld.
Waterworld, right?
Why would you do that?
I did tell her to watch Waterworld.
Pam, watch Waterworld.
Yeah. Now she'll do it.
We gotta prove this theory.
I did. I mean, I forced her to download Tubi. And it's like, it's on Tubi. It's free. Just watch it.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean,
For goodness sake.
I don't know, but I digress. She says, yes, I tried to watch it for Dairy this week.
Just
Tried to watch it, huh? So you
Mm.
couldn't make it through.
She must have fell asleep.
Yeah. It was a day that I interrupted her nap after her after work nap where she's trying for a cover. So,
Dude.
I mean,
So I guess that's a good segue into Waterworld.
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta keep going.
Yeah, keep
So
going.
I'll go pretty quick on my thoughts.
Yeah, go for
because
it.
I talked a lot about this last week at the end of the show.
Yeah.
I think there's elements of this movie that were before their time, where if a movie like this had been made 10 years later,
Yeah.
it would have been a much more well-received movie. I mean, this movie ended up, I believe, recapturing its budget worldwide, but did not do great in the United States. Yeah, so it only made about 75 what? It only made about 75 million over its budget worldwide. And
Jeez.
I know in the past I've been like, oh, well, movies make money. Well, one of the reasons why some of these franchises don't, move to become like a sequel and all that
Yeah.
is because most of these film companies are publicly traded companies. And so they have to report to Wall Street like how much money they're going to make quarterly
Right.
based off these movies they're releasing. Well, when they have a big miss, that can affect their stock price. Well, then they're gambling on if there's going to be a sequel. Is it going to work out? Like, is it going to hurt them in the public marketplace? There's a lot more layers to that than just saying, oh, well, this movie it recouped its budget. We should make a sequel to it. It's a little more. It's a little more.
So she says,
Oh.
"You watched until the big blue eye guy took and it popped out." Yep, yep, I get that.
We turned
But I mean, this movie, freaking love Dennis Hopper. I mean, Speed. This movie, he was a great villain in the 90s. I thought this was a unique concept. I really feel like Al Gore took this and made his whole campaign platform and everything he's done since based off Waterworld. But yeah, I mean, some of the special effects, I think, had the movie waited 10 years, it would have been a much better looking movie. But God damn it, I love Kevin Costner movies, and this is just another one that I enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, for me, the thing that I kept thinking about was the episode of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Oh.
When
you go way back.
The little girl had webbed toes.
Whoa,
and
how do you remember that?
It was just an episode I happened to watch.
Jeez.
But yeah. And so it's like, I remember that. And she's then commenting, oh, if I had webbed feet, I would probably be able to swim really well. And so then you see him teaching her how to swim and whatnot. It's just like, yeah. So you can do it. You just, no one ever bothered to teach you.
You ain't going to swim like him, though, because when he jumps in the water, when they're in the atoll and swims, whoo, he's crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dry desert types. This is the exact opposite. It was a fresh take on the end of world scenario. I totally agree with that.
It could even happen, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's wild.
Did you notice who the pilot of the plane was when they're flying around, and he's got them speared with the big ass spear from the boat?
I
don't recall.
Jack Black.
I
was
thought
it?
So.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Yep.
So.
He's the pilot.
Yeah, because
said, "Is that Jack Black?" And you're like, "No."
Yep.
I said, okay.
I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think he's been in this." And I didn't think he was in movies back then. So no, I guess it was the 90s, wasn't it?
I mean, he's totally an extra. I mean, he's older than you think.
He's definitely not listed. I don't think it's in his credits because I went and looked.
If you go to the mobile app, he is listed in there as the pilot, because I had to check it just to make sure.
Yeah.
When I saw him, but in the mobile app I found him, but I don't see him online.
Yeah.
You have to probably go to all cast or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that just shows you the top cast.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Oh yeah, it credits him online. You have to go to all cast, and then you have Kim Coates from Sons of Anarchy, who's the drifter that's like not had water. He's like half an hour. Like when he's selling
Oh,
the
Ah.
woman to him. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one dude from Sons of Anarchy. Tig.
Wow.
okay. I haven't seen that, so yeah, that's interesting.
Yep.
One of these days
But
I
if-
need to go back and watch it. But
If I'm rating this thing, I mean, I would still probably give it a 4 out of 5, but 4 out of 5 for me is something that I'll watch over and over and over.
yeah,
I
I
think
liked it too.
had the idea been explored a little bit later with more technology on special effects, it probably would have been better received. But then, do you have an actor like Kevin Costner?
right. Interested in it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you might not have somebody of that caliber 10 years later.
definitely not. What about you, Pumira?
The whole world covered with water was pretty crazy. The moon alone, it was so big because there's closer to it. They're just that much closer to it. The poles reversing, that caught my attention because
Yeah.
it's starting to happen now. So it could happen, and that's pretty scary.
Fair enough.
But I'll give it a 4. And I
So
would
Zombie
definitely
weighed
watch
in
it
that
again.
it's
3.5.
3.5 stars. I think earlier he said 2.
Uh-huh.
Which
Yeah.
he
2.5
rates
stars.
low. Like you gotta put it on a weighted scale for Zombie. Like
Science. But yeah, I mean,
Well, it can happen. So
yeah, I found this because I know like my mom hated on it all the time. And she's like, yeah, I don't like that movie, blah blah blah. We saw it once, and so that's why I wasn't like real big into it. I know other people like Matt Rodriguez are like, this is the greatest thing of all time, but I just enjoyed it. So I would say, probably 3.5, 4 stars maybe.
yeah, I would never put this as like it's a masterpiece or one of the
Yeah.
greatest movies of all time, but I think it got a lot of hate it didn't deserve.
Definitely.
Like anybody who was into Mad Max, like this is right up their alley, which we loved the Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome when we were young. So
Right.
like this was perfect for me and my brothers.
So we want to talk about next week's movies, or do you need to go?
I can probably hold off a few more minutes. So
Okay. So one of my suggestions is going to be The Ninth Gate. It's on Tubi.
is that Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think you said you had a comedy you wanted to watch.
Who, me?
Yeah, didn't you say something about a comedy?
So I picked
Or
out
maybe it was
3
zombie.
movies. One
Oh,
from
Time
last
Cop.
week was Time Cop. Then the other ones from Tubi that I saw, The Replacements, which
Okay,
is
yeah.
a comedy. It's one of my favorite sports movies of all time. And the Washington Commanders organization missed the perfect opportunity to rename their team to the Washington Sentinels, which is the name of the team in the movie. And then the other one I was thinking was a video game movie that got some hate, but Max Payne.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that advertised on TV.
But
Yeah,
you
so
said you've never seen Time Cop as one of the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, right?
no, I've never seen Time Cop. Never seen The Ninth Gate. Never seen. I have seen Replacements.
I don't remember The Ninth Gate that well. I know I went and saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it that well. So I'm good with Ninth Gate. And then, I mean, I still think we should watch Time Cop.
Yeah,
let's
for
do
sure.
Those two.
I mean,
All right.
you got to get the gratuitous Jean-Claude Van Damme splits on the kitchen counter. Like,
Whoa.
game changing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's that and the Punisher's, teabag from previous weeks too. It's just all hanging out there.
Yep.
in a sewer. I don't know, whatever time cop is. I'm guessing. Maybe it's
He's
the
a
kitchen
cop
table.
that can travel through time. So
That's
it's not
awesome.
just a clever name.
Oh.
Oh
good.
boy. All right, so time cop and night gate
And Zombie can have a say when he comes back.
week.
But cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and drop, guys, before the outro. Good talking to everybody. Can't wait
Yeah.
to cover these two next week. Maybe in the car on the way to Indiana, I'll watch one of them. I may watch
Nice.
Time Cop tonight because I'm stoked for it. So hopefully it's as good as I remember, but probably not.
Probably not.
So, all right, guys, I'm going to bounce
All
out.
right. Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Signing off.
See you Monday.
All right.
Monday for a show that I will show off here in a second if I can get to it. If I can. Where is it? Did I not do this?
You did.
Yeah.
It's in there. There it goes.
It's frickin' Figures. Monday. We'll
8
be
o'clock?
tuning in. Yeah, Monday at 8 o'clock. Is this one you're gonna, or no, the next week is one you're gonna be here for, right, Pumara?
Yeah.
Next
So
Friday?
Next couple of Fridays.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. No more side
Yeah.
quests for the next couple of Fridays, so that'll be
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, so yeah, Monday, 8 o'clock. And of course there's shows in at 11 tonight, Freewheeling Fridays. And then again on Sunday, we have. Oh, yeah, I should. There we go. Zombie over there saying, take the Raiders down. Yeah. So, oh, did I not do that then? So,
What?
did that not show up right?
What? We saw
So, yes,
freaking Figures.
Monday.
Yeah.
It's frickin' Figures, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I will be talking about figures. We'll be talking about figures. And yeah, so let's hit up the outro here and stay tuned for any you people hecklers. You don't understand what it's like.
Oh.
I'm trying to wade through all these millions of comment things and whatnot. It's outrageous. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, so let's do this. And hang on, Sunday is where I left off. So Sunday we have Daniel Rosales with Super Sunday Roundup. And again, this is his second episode on the Madness Network. So that'll be fun. Be sure to tune in that. And, we have shows on Mondays, Tuesday, Morning Brew, all that kind of good stuff. So like I said earlier, if there's something, if you're bored, looking for something to do, just tune into the Madness Network. We got you covered. There's something on for everybody. Yeah. So till next time.